Hey, it's a one-take Friday today, kind of a weird one. So remember months ago, I was talking all the time about the dismantler license and the conditional use permit and all the paperwork and the fees and the forms and the documents and the requirements and the licenses and the bullshit required to get a state of California dismantler's license. Well, we went in February and submitted everything we had, and we were subjected to a full audit by the occupational licensing people. And we were there like an hour and a half. They went through every single paper that we brought in, which was a stack about this thick that's required. And if we were missing a middle initial or we forgot to do a period, we had to refill out a form. It is by the letter. The syntax is incredibly important. So the address of the place is 301-1 Enterprise, 301 Enterprise Street, Suite 1. Those aren't the same thing to them. -1 and Suite 1 are different. So we had to fill everything out differently, go back to the city hall, have things printed out so they all say Suite 1 instead of -1. So finally, 2 months later, we did that. They told us our sign needed to be 32 square feet. So we made one that's 36 square feet and put that up there and took a picture of it. And I couldn't print it at the shop yesterday. I stayed an extra 30 minutes. It wouldn't print. It just said loading and processing, little spinning circle, infinite loop of bullshit. Couldn't get anywhere with it. So today we went over to Staples. Staples couldn't print it. Their machines were down. Had to go to FedEx. FedEx, their first machine wouldn't work. We ended up paying $2 and it just sat there processing. Nothing would happen. Finally, the third attempt to print just a simple JPEG from an iPhone on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Finally, that worked. And for 70 cents, we got a piece of paper. We went down to the occupational licensing office. We got there at 11:33. They went to lunch at 11:30 and came back at 1. So we had an hour and a half to go to In-N-Out, kill time. Then we actually went over to Monte Vista, where my dad lived when he first moved to San Diego. There's vlogs there way back when, the little apartment house. He had 2 of them, single and then a double bedroom down in Mission Valley. Anyways, we drove through there for like 10 minutes to kill some time. Went back to the office, got there at 12:50. We were the first ones in there at 1:01 when they opened the doors for us. And they did another full audit of all the paperwork. And this time we passed. The sign worked, we changed the address where it needed to be done. One of us needed a California ID. My dad got a California ID now. And we are subject to an inspection now on Monday by the lady that audited the paperwork, which is weird because why would she be doing inspections 30 miles away as well? I don't know. Anyways, so she's coming up on Monday and they're going to do a full inspection of the place, make sure we are compliant with all the requirements. It's a huge list of requirements, and all of this is just to be able to legally take apart a car. And the asterisk here, the important thing, why we're doing this. If we want to be able to buy cars on Copart and IAAI.com, we have to have a dismantler's license or a dealer's license. Or even if we want to buy a car from a private individual, let's say that there's a guy in Nevada that his M5 gets wrecked and we want to buy it. We can't legally unless we have a dealer or a dismantler's license. And the dealer license is even harder to get, so we're just going after the dismantler's license. But we're in like $4,000 to $5,000 in 6 months, and finally now we're on the board for the inspection on Monday. So I really hope she comes in there, walks around, and issues the license. That's the best case scenario. We had a guy come by today. Looks like the engine is going to be sold, and made another small sale and just clean up, defragmentation, organization, administration day. And then we went to Islands for dinner, and I'm tired, and tomorrow's Cars and Coffee. So I'm going to bed. Sorry for a one-taker. It was that kind of a day. Kind of felt like what we did the first 3 months of this business is all running around satisfying the bureaucracy that is the state of California government. So I'm going to sleep, talk on the weekend. Good night.